He said it without looking at me. "You're sleeping in the guest room until you say sorry." His voice was calm, polished, the same tone he used in board meetings when dismissing someone he already decided was irrelevant. I didn't argue. I just nodded and said, "Okay." That was the last word I ever spoke to him as his wife. The next morning he came into the guest room, leaning against the doorframe like a king surveying his kingdom. "Have you learned your lesson?" he asked. But when he looked behind me, saw the empty closet, the neatly folded divorce papers on the table, and the house keys resting on top, I watched something rare happen. His composure cracked. It was small, but I saw it. The moment he realized the game was over. Back then, he loved me. Or at least, he played the part well. We met at a charity gala. I was there to help organize, he was there to be photographed. He smiled like he owned the room, and everyone seemed to believe he did. I was the only one who saw through it. His arrogance didn't impress me. That's why he chased me. He said he loved my independence, my quiet strength, my ability to make people listen without raising my voice. He built me up, told me we were equals, and for a while, I believed him. When he made CEO, I celebrated him. I was proud, not because of the title, but because I thought we'd built something together. But power changes people. Slowly at first, then all at once. The shift started small. He began correcting me, subtly, then publicly. "You don't understand how these things work. You're overreacting. I know what's best for us." I told myself he was stressed, that success made people hard. Then came the late nights, the cold bed, the faint trace of perfume that wasn't mine. I didn't confront him, not yet. I waited. I watched, and when his assistant sent an email meant for her to me, I didn't cry. I just stared at the screen until the words stopped meaning anything. He hadn't just betrayed me, he'd underestimated me. The planning began quietly. He controlled the company, the accounts, the image. But I controlled the foundation, the charity he used for tax optics and reputation. I handled the board. I knew every document, every discrepancy, every small lie he'd hidden under corporate strategy. I started collecting emails, signatures, transaction histories. I didn't need to ruin him emotionally. I needed to ruin him legally. I met with my lawyer in silence, signed under my maiden name, the one he'd convinced me to leave behind. I learned the rules of the game he thought he invented. He used people like chess pieces, but I played the board. The night before I left, he gave his final order. We'd argued over dinner, his phone lighting up beside his plate, her name appearing again and again. I didn't flinch. When he said I was being dramatic, I simply stood up. That's when he looked at me, really looked at me, and said, "You're sleeping in the guest room until you say sorry." He smirked, poured himself another glass of wine, and muttered, "Don't look at me like that. You'll thank me when you calm down." So I went upstairs. I didn't pack immediately. I sat in the dark, listening to him move around the house that I designed, built, and held together while he played king. Then, when the house fell silent, I began. Every drawer, every shelf, every piece of clothing, gone by 2 a.m. I packed the papers last, the ones that would end him. On the kitchen counter, I left his world in perfect order. Coffee machine ready, blinds open, breakfast fruit washed. He'd wake up thinking the day was his to command. The morning after. When he stepped into the guest room, I could smell his cologne before I saw him. "Have you learned your lesson?" he said, half smiling. Then his eyes fell on the empty space where my things had been. The closet door swung open, light catching the hangers that gleamed like clean bones. He froze. Then he saw the envelope on the nightstand. Inside, divorce papers, full financial disclosure attached. He flipped through them once, twice. His hands began to shake when he saw the signature. The charity, the accounts, the properties, all listed, all documented. Half his empire, legally mine. The board already knew. My lawyer had filed at sunrise. He called my name like I might still be in the house, but the echo answered him instead. The aftermath. It took him 2 weeks to realize just how deep my preparation went. The photos leaked first, him and his assistant in a hotel lobby. Then the documents, the falsified donations, the underreported earnings. I didn't release them. I didn't need to. People talk when money's involved, especially when the Queen leaves the board. He called once, left a voicemail that started with anger and ended with begging. I didn't reply.